Welcome to day 4 of Advent of Code. Thank you so much for the support in this series so far. Let's dive right in. So in this challenge, the issue is that there are like a couple of key values that are thrown as your input, and you need to get these key values together in order to form passports and then check if they are valid or not. So I'm going to copy that right away so that we can get started. Here I have like every day I have like the baseline setup, and we're going to create a class passport, because as you know, these might get reused, so it's good to have this set super clean. And what I'm thinking is that this is a good time, this.map equal new map. This is a good time to use a map actually, which is a nice JavaScript object that's gonna help us tremendously. And so here we need to split the input using a regular expression. That's gonna be best, and we're gonna use lowercase s, which is any spaces, tabulations, line returns. So that's going to be fine for our purpose. Const list. We can actually console log this just to make sure we debug that bit by bit. And lines. Actually, in that case, do we need each line? No, I think we don't need each line. So in that case, we're going to be removing this, and we're going to be, actually we're going to be splitting by double line return, meaning here there is one line return and then a second one. So this is something that we're going to split on. So let's just log the lines, because this is a bit different than the other days. We're on day 4 today. If we log that, yes, we get, every time we get one passport, sorry. So we're gonna say lines dot for each. Let's do 4 of, actually, I like this. Line of lines, and here we're going to say const p equal new passport with line, and actually that's it. That should display us saving. That should display us the right stuff. Yes, so I think in this particular problem it's good to have a good parsing setup. And then here we just have to go through each element of this list. So we're going to say list for each. Oops. And this is key value. And here we do this.map.add. Oops, const key value. Actually, you know what? I don't need to add this new line. Here what I want to do, oh yeah, I do. Const key value is equal key value dot split, and we split on the column. This gives us the key and the value, and then we can add key value, and here we can actually let's console log. At this point I'm going a bit slower than the other days because the parsing is going to be key to make this work smoothly. This map add, I think this map set. Yes, that's it. Okay, so here you see we've got everything we need. There is one piece of data that is very important, is to understand if a password is valid or not. And the way to do that is that it should have all of these fields. And I think there is an optional field that is CID. So let's take these fields. I'm going to say let's say here mandatory. Can I do const here? Mandatory. So let's just say mandatory fields is equal to okay. We're gonna have to just take that. I'm gonna do this setup in a new file. New file, whatever. Here, I'm gonna take the space. Usually what I do is take the space, I select all spaces, I do this, and this is almost clean. Now I can take the line return as a regular expression and replace with like that. So this is just using the editor in order to create a nice array. Mandatory. So CID, I believe, is the one that we don't care about. CID doesn't need, it is not mandatory, so that's good. So let me double check that the class is defined correctly. Okay, so we're gonna make this a bit better. We're gonna use static here, which means that this is not part of the class instance, but rather part of the whole class. Yep. Now we're gonna just need something that is called isValid that returns a boolean, and it's gonna go over. We're gonna say mandatory every, and we're gonna make sure that this key is in the map. So this .map that has key. So what we're doing here is we are going and iterating through each element of the array and making sure that for each element of the array the key is in this .map. So here actually this is not mandatory, this should be passport.mandatory. And I believe we have something correct. Let's just console log p and p.isValid. I'm really happy because yeah, writing this kind of classes is going to be really helpful in the long run. If we need to reuse code or something, it's going to be super helpful. So true, false, true, false. So this is valid, valid, invalid. Interesting. So we have a parsing issue. That's good. We need to fix that right away. Let me check the input here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 passports. And here, valid, invalid, valid, invalid. Okay, so that's correct. Valid, invalid, valid, invalid. So we have passed this little test. What do we need to output? We need to output the number of valid passports, sorry. Const valid. Oh no, let, because we need a valid counter, and we say if p.isValid, then valid plus plus, and now we can log this valid. We have 2, so now let's dive right in the full input. I think it's good to go slower because as days pass in this challenge, the challenges are gonna get more and more complex. So it's really good to take our time and make this work correctly. Yes, this is good for the first part. Let's dive right into part 2. So I think we have a bit stricter rules here, yeah. 4 digits, okay. Count all the passport where all required fields are both present and valid according to the above rules. So in JavaScript, I think right away I'm thinking about external libraries that we could use, like Joys or Validate, I believe. Those are NPM libraries that are really cool in production usage. So if you need to validate input from users, it's usually good to rely on these libraries to make something very nice. And yeah, here I believe we're just gonna be doing some kind of manual is valid thing. 4 digits. Okay, so we have several times the 4 digits. So we're gonna say something about const 4 digits from 2. No, we need input from 2. We need to make sure if. So we're going to be using regular expression here. Really simple. Here this is a 4-digit regular expression from the start to the end. And we're going to test the input. And we're going to say if this isn't the case, then return false. And then const int equal parse int of input. If int is below from, let me check if this is exactly at least and at most. Okay, so if this is strictly below from, we return false. If int is strictly above 2, then we return false, otherwise we return true. So this is our way to validate these 3 fields here. So we're going to say here static field validators. So damn. Oh yeah, I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna say beer. Wait, let me double check. This is gonna be a bit slow, but beer issue year and expiration year. Okay, so this, and this. Input, and then we return 4 digits of input. Is that correct? No. 2002 and okay. I believe we are okay for now. Oh no, I think we cannot use in because in is a reserved word. So we're going to be using input to keep things clear. I'm going to copy paste that. And we're going to change the date. Oh, I've just closed the tab. Let me just fix that. Okay, so I've inputted the right dates here. I've added these formulas now. We're gonna go from this country ID that is ignored. So we're gonna say it's always valid. Then we're gonna go with the height number followed by centimeter or in. Okay. So let's just write it here, you know. Not super clean, but I think that's fine. So we can say if, in that case, we're going to use regular expression very often. We need a number, so anti/d plus with centimeter. If this is, oh, I think we're going to need to do a match. Exec input const. So what we're doing here, we are trying to extract this number because we're going to be using it afterwards. We're going to say if cm, in that case, what we're going to use named value. We're going to use the name capture group. This is a good thing to learn, which is we can do then cm.groups.value, and it gives us this thing. So in that case, we want this to be between 150 and 193. This is very complex, you know. This should be above or equal to 150 and below or equal to 193. I believe we should pass int just to be sure there isn't any issue. So it feels like this challenge is more about doing a bit of a tedious task rather than really doing something crazy. But you know, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. So here, inches, when there is in, so we reuse the code, really. Yeah, we're just reusing the code. Here, if there's inches, then we take inches here and there, and we need to make sure this is between 59 and 76. 76. And if nothing is matching, then we return false. That's it for this one. Then we have the hair color, which is, yeah, an hexadecimal color number, like HTML. So this is simpler. We just have to do a regular expression. So as always, we make sure the regular expression is everything. It needs to start with a hash, and then we need a character between 0 and 9 and between A and F. And this should repeat exactly 6 times. Like that. One thing I believe is that it can be uppercase or lowercase. No, I think it can only be lowercase, so that's good for us. We just have you to do this .test input, and this is our validator for the HTML hair color. Eye color, this is one of those. Let's say const set. Wait, what is it? It's eye color. Eye colors. New set of. So we have to do a bit of editing. Let me fix that right away. So what I've done here is that I've created a set, and the idea of using a set is that it's super simple to check if a value is part of the set. You just have to do .has input, and basically this is a constant time check in this set, and it's quite simple to set up, so why not, you know. I'm using a bit of a cleaner code than just rushing through this. And passport ID is a 9-digit number including leading zeros. That's fine, you know, 9-digit number. So in that case, here we can just reuse another regular expression. Regular. Today it really feels like it is the day of regular expression, so I can use /d for a digit, and there needs to be exactly 9 of them. Test input. So here we can say is valid and is fully valid. So that we make sure that it is valid according to the new rule. So we need to do this, and is there something to go over each of the values? For each entries, maybe every. So I think let's get a quick look at the map values. So I always go to MDN to get the right information. And here we want entries. It returns an array with the key and the value. So here we can say something like key value. And now we need to make sure passport dot, let's do line return because this is becoming a bit crazy. Yes. Passport dot field validators of key, and we pass it value, and this is returning the right thing. This is returning either true or false if the value is passing the field validator of the specific key. So I think we're good here. Let's copy paste this code. The idea by copy pasting the code is that we can keep the first answer, the code for the first answer, and here we say is fully valid. Let's try that. We have this. Oh, I forgot to save. So here, okay, we have an issue. Entries. What is entry? Oh, entries is returning an iterator. So basically, it can be a crazy number of values in the map, and this is why it is returning an iterator. So we have to convert this iterator into an array, and using this spreading is working. You can also use slice, I believe, to transform something that has an array shape into an actual array. And we have an issue here. Let's check that. You know what? We're just going to say that. We're just going to log that. Oh, okay. Oh, we have undefined here. Oof, that's really bad. So that's typical issue when you don't filter things correctly. So here we need to say if key, in that case, and in that case only, we add the key and the value to the map. Now let's run that again. There's still the same issue. Interesting. This is interesting. Okay, so I think I just forgot to do a save here. If I save and I run that again, okay, it's working fine. So I think we're just gonna use this right away and try to see if it works before debugging or anything. Maybe it works on the first a bit. And it does! Thank you very much for the support on this series. Feel free to drop a like, a subscribe, or a nice comment. It really helps. Let's see each other tomorrow in the next one. Thank you very much and have a great day. Bye bye.